Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to an all-new episode of TAETRO Talks. I feel like it's been a while since we've done this show, but here we are nonetheless. If you don't know, we're live here every Tuesday with 343 TV doing TAETRO Talks, either doing an interview or a show with you all, the community. You become the guest on the show. Talk about different motivational aspects of being a home studio music producer, some of the philosophical side of things, the less technical side, because we talk about the technical stuff all the time, especially on 343 TV. We've got Justin Beck doing stuff about mixing and mastering tomorrow. We've got Abe Duque and John Selway, who are always in making some cool techno or other electronic genres deep in the DAW. So we take this opportunity on Tuesdays to have a nice chat. Talk about how it's going for us artists out there in this crazy 21st century artist situation that we're in. But hello, thank you all for joining me today. Happy to be here. I was off last week on a couple of adventures, which you will see in video form soon, including tomorrow for tomorrow's beat video from the top of a mountain. And you will probably enjoy it. Hopefully you all liked yesterday's rant. I know a lot of people were upset about yesterday's rant, but they're just Behringer fanboys. What can I say? There, I said it. All right. Hello, friends. Music block scenes. Emmett De Silva, Ray Calvin, STK, David Carr says, I'm both. Oh, yes. We should talk about the title of today's stream. Sarah Rabowski, what's going on? Drunk Bishop, Yurik Praneet. Just running down the names in chat. Josiah Smith, Kosa. Samuel Messiah is here. Welcome. My mom and dad are in the chat. Juan14, Lisa P. Enigmatic Onion is here. Daniel Cohen. Lisa P, I think I said that already. Gab, what's going on? Nice to see you all. Oh, and in the 343 Labs chat, hello to Ray Calvin, John H. Kingston III, Mystic Moth. Hello. Thank you for watching over there on the 343 Labs channel. Yes. Today's stream title. Oh, Gab says, just got the Cardinal hoodie. In love with it. About to make a beat video with it. Yes, please tag me so I can see it. Russian Punk is here too. What's up, Andre? Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us today. If you don't know how the show works, you can all call into today's show using the Zoom link that I'm pasting in chat right now. You can call into the show, and don't worry, you don't have to be on video. It'll be just audio. And it's not like you click the link and automatically get on the show. You get put into a waiting room. And we go one by one through all the callers, have a nice chat. Not looking to be your tech support today, but looking to chat about your life as a home studio music producer. And maybe the conversation we start with will spark some questions or spark some thoughts, spark some conversation. You know how it goes. The Phantom says, yo, here for inspiration and to grow. Your time breakdown put a lot into perspective. Thank you. Yeah, I've got a lot more content coming soon. I've got a 3-part uncut beat making process tutorial. So starting from scratch, then adding a little more technical complexity, part 2. And then finally, number 3, arranging, kind of finishing the track, taking it from a loop to finishing it. So that's going to be rolling out real soon over the next few weeks. But I'm just waiting for the sponsor to approve part 1. And as soon as they do, we'll be on it. All right, my friends. Gab says control freak vibes. Heck yes, for sure, for sure. So yeah, use that Zoom link, call into the show. The waiting room is filling up, as I can see here. So hopefully we'll be able to get to all of the calls today. I believe we will, but if at any point I think we won't be able to, I'll let y'all know. And the title of today's stream, right, is Are You a Producer or Are You a Comedian? I think you all know that I've built much of my career, I guess you could say, on getting attention online for my music and building up an online community through things like social media, mainly YouTube and Instagram for me. And what I'm seeing more and more lately is with the rise of short form content like TikTok and Reels, basically from the Vine world, if anybody remembers Vine. Short form funny content does really, really well on those platforms. And YouTube is introducing shorts, so I expect to see more of it on this platform as well. Sometimes, though, I see producers, they lean into the comedy thing, which is fine, a great way to get to to get attention on your music and on your content is to use comedy. If you're good at it, fantastic. But then what I often see is they'll have a video go viral, or, you know, they'll get a lot of attention for a kind of funny video that they do, which doesn't really represent their music super well. And then they'll just continuously do the funny videos because they know that that's what gets attention. So what happens is they kind of shift from doing music and making the music that they love making and making the music that they kind of wanted to be known for, to shifting to doing the thing that just gets you attention and kind of presenting yourself in a way that gets you more likes rather than actually putting your work out there in an effective way so that people can consume your work for what it is rather than you tailor your work to the platforms. And I just want to throw out a caution there, because maybe some people are also enjoying it. Maybe people enjoy that blend of comedy and music production, and they want to be out there and be more on the entertainment side, which, I mean, music in general is just entertainment anyway, right? For a lot of us. Maybe people want to be on that entertainment side. So I'm not talking to those people who really enjoy doing both and having that be a main part of their thing. But like today, I just saw like on Instagram, you know, it shows you random reels, and I saw a dude like doing a cover of a song with a balloon. And then I went to his profile and it says like, you know, music producer, filmmaker, and it's like, okay, he's got like 5 videos making music with balloons, and I'm sure that's gonna get him a lot of hits. Like, I'm talking about like blowing into the balloon and like making the squeaky sound. And it's impressive. But then what happens when you at the end of the day, you become known as the balloon guy? With peace and love, if you want to be known as the balloon guy, that's great. But I just wonder if that was always the North Star, or if that became the North Star once you realized that was the main way you were getting attention, you know? And you see this all the time, like Music Boxing says someone made a beat with a microwave. Yeah, like Reels and TikTok are like overtaken with this genre of people. Like, and I've done videos like this before where it's like, oh, here's my pots and pans, I'm making a beat, and yes, they get a lot of hits, but then like, what do you do to follow up that burst of attention you get after you make the beat with the pots and pans or the sushi roll? Sean Wasabi is a good example. He does all the things where you plug into the fruits and vegetables, like whatever. I'm not a big fan of that content, but I am a big fan of his music. That's not how I discovered his music, but maybe some people did discover his music through that way. And Synth Tanked in the chat says Mark Rebillet is the king of combining music / comedy. Yeah, and that Mark Rebillet is very good example as well, because it's very clear what he's doing. Like, he has a very clear thing that he does. You can tell that that's like his main thing, and he enjoys it. I just worry about the lesser known producers that put a lot of work into doing like comedy content because they know it gets hits, because their actual like music content wasn't getting hits. Maybe there's a balance. Frank Rhodes says Andrew Wong. Yeah, but Andrew Wong, think about it. He used a lot of that. This is like post Vine, but pre TikTok and Reels for the most part. You think about Andrew Wong doing like 24 carats with 24 carats. That got him a lot of attention, and then he was able to pivot and shift to not only do those kind of meme videos, but to also do some serious music making and music production videos that the community valued. Joseph. So those are all good examples, right? The Mark Rebillet example, the Andrew Wong example. I think Sean Wasabi is probably a good example too of using these things to get attention for yourself, but then not making it your only thing that you do. Like, make sure that you do that a little bit, get the attention you need, but then follow it up with like the thing that you actually want to be known for. You know what I mean? Or if you want to be known as the comedian, music producer, the funny guy, like I think Mark Rebillet like knows what he's doing is like supposed to be funny and entertaining, but it's also music, and some of it is like pretty impressive too. Maybe that is what you want to do. Just be clear with yourself on what you want to do, and don't get trapped into creating content for an algorithm and then wake up one day and say, wait, now I'm known as the balloon guy. John Richardson says memes are not impressive. That's an opinion. I think some memes are impressive. I think good comedy is impressive. Absolutely. MP, what's going on? You got full coordinates in your name. All right, that's my spiel for today. So just Be clear with yourself. What are you doing? Are you a comedian? Are you a producer? Either are valid. Both are valid. Combining the two, completely valid. Just be clear with yourself. Microwave type beat be like, hey Rashane, what's up? All right, let's go through this list. I've got a few people in the waiting room, which, by the way, make sure you get in at that link. The sooner you get in on the link, the sooner you can actually lock in the fact that you can be on the show today. And I will also say that 343 TV, we do a giveaway every single week. We stream on youtube.com/343labs multiple times a week. And we do a giveaway every week. And this week's giveaway is a copy of Arturia Pigments VST. So if you go over to the 343 Labs chat, you can find the link to enter that. I do highly recommend that you enter that because Pigments is an awesome synth and Arturia is a great company. But nonetheless, we have some callers lined up and I want to get into the calls because you could listen to me talk on any random video. Music block scenes, type your question into Google instead of the chat and you'll find an answer. Naz Choudhury. What's going on? Let's get you in this Zoom call and hopefully my audio works. Me. Hi, welcome to the chat. How are you?
Good.
Oh, welcome back to the show, I should say.
Oh.
How are you?
Good.
I'm happy to have you back on the show. Can you remind everybody where you're calling in from? Can you hear me?
Wait a second. I accidentally had you on a...
Got it. You let me know when we can chat.
Now I'm
perfect. Ready. All right. Remind everybody where you're calling in from.
I'm calling in from England.
From England. Well, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. What do you want to chat about today?
I want to chat about because I've seen like Daniel Thrasher videos, and my videos aren't getting that much views. So
Tell me who Daniel Thrasher is. I don't know who Daniel Thrasher is.
Daniel Thrasher is like a pianist. And he makes really funny videos on just music.
Got it. So he's one of those musicians that does funny content online, like we kind of talked about.
Yeah. One time I was just thinking, should I be like him?
Should you? That's a good question. And what do you think?
I think I might have to be.
Ooh, see, that's the problem. The phrasing you said there is very telling. You said, I think I might have to be. But do you think that every musician that you see online is doing that kind of content, or there's lots of different kind of content out there?
I think a lot of the musicians I see do that.
Yeah, it's definitely a whole genre.
But a lot of the people are just normal, like they make music like Leaky inspired.
Right. So what you just said, like a lot of producers and musicians out there do the funny content, but then a lot of music producers and musicians do the just regular content that isn't based around comedy. So that tells you that there is a pathway to doing content other than comedy. But I think that just be careful because you said, I feel like I have to do that. Once you start doing things you feel like you quote unquote like have to do, then it becomes not your vision anymore. It becomes more like you're just doing things to please the algorithm, like I talked about, you know?
Yeah.
And for my generation, somebody in the chat, Frank Rhodes, just wrote, Bo Burnham is a comedy musician. He recently released an amazing album, so special. And he's having a huge cultural impact right now, Bo Burnham, kind of one of the first ones to do this thing. So it is a pathway, but if you enjoy doing it, right? Like you have to ask yourself, do you enjoy doing it? And you can try anything. You can try comedy and maybe you will have a lot of fun doing it. Just make sure that it is what you actually want to do and not just because what the algorithm wants.
Yeah. I kind of want to do it as well, though.
Good.
Because it kind of seems fun. It looks fun.
Yeah, that's all you need to know.
It looks really complicated. And I can make funny faces or neck positions, but I mean, I'm not that of a comedic guy. I can gross people out like this.
I think that's funny. I think that you should absolutely try it. And the other thing is you're super young and getting started super young. So you should try a bunch of things. And especially what you just said about like, it seems kind of fun. I think I might want to try it. Then you should absolutely dive in and try it. Absolutely. Don't do it out of obligation. Do it because you think it's going to be fun and you want to take on the challenge of seeing if you can make people laugh. And then after you do it for a month, 2 months, 3 months, or whatever, if you start to like it, great, keep doing it. If you realize like you don't really like it or you don't really like the kind of attention you're getting for it, then move on to something else. We can always be shifting and changing our identity like as much as we want.
Yeah, but on the other hand, I'm kind of scared because on the internet there's a lot of things happening.
There are a lot of things happening.
Bad
What do you
things.
mean?
Like bad things.
Like haters and stuff?
No, not like haters, but like bad people who do crimes and stuff.
Sure. Yeah, but that's real life too. There's lots of bad people out there who do whatever, and we just all have to do our own thing in spite of, the bad people out there. And what can we do? We're protected. We're on the internet. Like, the internet's not kind of what it used to be. It's not that much of a scary place. It's kind of all out there now, And, even with my video I put out yesterday, there's lots of bad people in those comments, lots of good people in those comments. But there's lots of kind of scary, crazy people in those comments too. And, if I thought about that every time I wanted to put out a video, I don't know. I would never put out a video. We can't do stuff based on what other people are going to do or think. We have to just do what's right for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope you will keep us posted and let us know when you post your first piece of funny content so we can follow along.
Yeah. I also listened to your advice last time.
Oh, and what advice did I give you and how did it go?
How did it go? I thought my music turned out pretty good after listening to your advice. I tried to sync everything together.
That's awesome.
It sounded good. It took a long time though.
It will take a long time, especially when you start. The first time you do something, it always takes the longest. But the more you do it, every time it won't take you that long. It'll take you a little less time next time, a little less time the next time, And that's just about building habits as a musician. And oftentimes doing things the right way or the way that's going to get you the best result does take you a long time at first. That's why it takes people a long time to progress, because they're constantly looking for the easy and fast way, but it doesn't really exist. You have to build up to an easy and fast way.
Yeah.
For sure. But hey, we have a feedback thing coming up on Saturday, a track feedback live stream, and it's the second one of the month. So there's probably opportunities for non-members to submit. You should definitely come to that stream if you're able and submit.
Because it's 3 a.m.
Oh, it's well, I'm doing this Saturday earlier. Is that different for you? It's not at the same late night time.
I don't know because what time will it be at?
It'll be at 11 a.m. my time. It'll actually be an hour later than right now.
An hour later than right now.
Yes.
I might be able to join.
All right. Check that out. Check that out on the channel and see if you can join, because I think that'd be a good opportunity. We could actually hear what you're working on, all that stuff. But I got to get to the other calls. I really appreciate this call, though. Thank you for calling in. Lots of good stuff.
Thank you.
I hope to hear from you again soon. Bye. Good first call. I love when the young folks call in. I think I realized, I used to work with younger kids, obviously. That was kind of the thing that I did. And I'm glad that this channel, that sort of translates too. But there's people of all ages here, which I think is also great. Morose Grouch, hello. Thank you for joining. Thank you for the kind words. Peace and love. Peace and love. Good name. Okay. Lots of people in the waiting room. I want to keep going. David Carr. I'm just going in whatever order it puts the names in the waiting room. I didn't really know. Let's see. David, how are you? I can't actually hear you, which is interesting because the mic icon is there. I'll let you know when I can. And yes, Gael, what's going on? Thank you for joining the chat. Hello. Welcome. Oh, maybe I can hear you now. No problem.
Sorry. I have 2 Scarlett interfaces. So I forgot that I had the mic set up to the other one.
Of course, of course. Well, welcome to the show, my friend. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, my man?
I'm good. We chatted last time. We had a pretty good chat. I wonder what you're thinking about the whole comedy versus music production thing.
Yeah, I was actually just listening to that, and I was super intrigued by it, and I was loving the way you were handling that conversation. You know, he was talking about some of the things that kind of had him a little concerned, and you were giving him the good like words of encouragement, bro. I love that. But personally, I love comedians with all my heart.
Totally.
You know, like Jack Black was like the first musician comedian that I knew about. You know,
That's a good example. I don't think of Jack Black in that way, but you're totally right.
yeah. See, it really just starts with content, as in getting your face, your name, or you know, any vision you have, whether it be a drawing down to, you know, like macaroni painting, getting it out there, you know.
Yeah.
And if you could find a way to make people laugh with that, I think you've got a talent. But you know, if you could find a way to just release it yourself, you know what I'm saying, and get over all those hiccups and
Yeah.
doubts, then that's another talent.
Yeah, that is a whole nother talent, like being super clear, like having a clear mind of like, okay, yes, this is the thing I want to do, and this is what I want to pursue, and I'm comfortable with this. I think that's the biggest obstacle for people, right? Because sometimes they get into comedy and they're like, oh, I didn't really want to do this, or I just worry about that. But a lot of people have made great careers, and I think that Jack Black example is a great one.
I know, I didn't even think about that for the first minute.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But yeah, you mentioned Bo Burnham.
Yeah.
And I was about laughing just by hearing his name. He's so great.
I just remember like in the MySpace days, like his stuff was huge, and like the early YouTube, and he's another great example. And the thing about it too is I haven't actually watched the special. I've just watched some clips, and my friend Joe has told me a lot about the special. But despite him doing comedy, it seems like this special also touches on some kind of more serious topics through a comedic lens. So he's still having like a great cultural impact. He's not doing things just for laughs. He's not just being a clown. He's kind of like sending a message through comedy too. So it's not all bad.
Yeah, because there's so many fans in comedy, and honestly, once you're in such a position like that, where you're ready to laugh, you could hear some of those things that are like, you know, really, you know, tough to digest or talk about with the family and stuff. But you know, once you're in that mood to be ready to laugh, shock, surprise,
Totally.
it really hits different, you know? Just
Absolutely.
like music's the same.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because music can entertain us in a bunch of different ways. It can make us sad, it can make us laugh, it can make us smile, you know? It can impact us in lots of different ways. Comedy, art form, all the same.
Yeah, it's all beautiful, bro. Like, I just love it so much. Because, like, if you could take something dark, like just as bad as it could get, and like make it something beautiful, like,
yeah, and
that's what I live for.
And the most beautiful part is making it something other people can relate to. Like another person listens to it. Maybe they're on the other side of the world, but they're going through the same human experience that we're all going through, and they can relate to your art. Like, I think that's the privilege we all have. And that's why, like, I put out a video yesterday about integrity. It's like, if we all just live with a little more integrity and think about the ethics of what we do, and we live a little bit, you know, just a little bit better and with more integrity every single day, as much as we can, we make the world a better place as artists. And I think artists have a huge impact on the world, and a huge ability to make the world a better place by the stuff we put out, because it impacts a big crowd of people, you know?
I like back that with all of me, without a doubt. I've been recognizing that happening in my community here in this town that I live in, like, for real.
Yeah.
That is how it goes. Because we've had people from this walk of life, a walk of life like mine, and the ones where it's just like, man, I pray for that person, you know, really tough stuff. And then like we all come together, and like I told you last time, I threw those concerts and stuff, and like DJ on the side, and like everybody's just releasing, you know, they're playing music that nobody's heard before. That's kind of like the most recent thing that people share art,
Yeah.
even though it's not theirs. They just, you know, they love it and it relates with them. So that's what I love, is just hearing new music that I haven't heard before, and seeing why that person, you know, really related to that.
I think that's awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for calling in and chatting with me again. I hope you do it again soon.
Without a doubt, man. Saturday, I'm gonna try to get there. I got at least one song I want to get played.
Fantastic. All right, I cannot wait to see you in the chat on Saturday if you can be there.
Oh yeah, I will.
Peace out, my friend.
Peace out. Much love.
Nice. Such positivity today in chat. Hello, friends who just joined in the chat. I saw Hollow Purry was there. I don't know if I missed anybody else, but hello. Thank you all for joining. I also heard that different frequencies can change your mood dramatically. That's from MP in the chat. Yeah, I think so. Music has like an actual physical effect, right? The physics of it. Emmett De Silva, hello. I see you. I see lots of people in chat. Let's get the man, the myth, the legend, the young man from across the world who calls into the show every day so often that he has his own segment. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Samuel.
Samuel Messiah.
Hey, welcome. How are you?
Good.
Long time.
Haven't called in a while.
I was going to say, thank you so much for calling in again. Long time no talk. I'm sure you must have a long list.
At this point, like, I have nothing to call about.
Nice. I'm sure there's something to call about. I'm sure your laptop has crashed again or something like that, you know?
Actually, today's kind of tech support, but not really tech support. Like, not the boring tech support.
Got it. Heard like that. Okay.
So, right on Mac, there's like Time Machine.
Yes.
But you can also back your stuff up like manually.
Indeed. You can do both, ideally.
So, can you dedicate a hard drive to Time Machine, but also saving stuff onto it?
Yes, actually, that's what I do. So I have a big 8 terabyte hard drive that's literally Velcroed under this desk. And that, obviously, I don't need 8 terabytes for Time Machine, but part of it is partitioned specifically for a Time Machine. So every time I plug that in, Time Machine backs up, but then I also have other files on it. So yes, that's a very smart thing to do if you have a big enough hard drive.
Okay. But that was literally it. Just one question.
Well, what's going on with your music making and your process? Because I know a few weeks ago, over a month ago at least, that you were talking about getting music ready for release. And I haven't yet seen anything. It's been quiet on the Samuel Messiah front.
Yeah. So since the laptop got wiped, I'm trying to build it back up. And just yesterday, my interface, we sent my interface to the company so they could fix it. So now I don't have an interface and I have to listen to like headphones. It's really bad.
What's the difference between plugging headphones into your laptop versus plugging them into your interface?
Well, usually I use the monitors. They're way better. And like,
got it.
So basically we had the digital piano outside and then they moved it to my room because we got like an acoustic piano.
Nice.
So now I use that one as a MIDI controller. So it's quite a distance between the headphone socket and like the end of the keyboard. So like,
sure.
Yeah.
Well, you need to figure it out, my friend. How long are you going to wait? Or you need to be doing a ton of writing before you get all your stuff in a row. Because you know what I know? Issues like this are going to keep popping up. Your hard drive will go down. Your interface will have to get repaired. Something else will break. There will be a problem with one of your plugins. You know, that is the constant thing in our lives as home studio music producers. But if you let it derail your process every time, then you'll never get anything done. You have to do the work despite the issues.
And sometimes you just gotta ignore what's happening and focus on what you're doing.
Exactly. It can be really easy to get derailed and just focus on a thing. But then you're like, oh, I really don't have to focus on this right now. I'm doing something totally different. But yeah, problem solving is a good thing. It's good. It pays a lot to be a good problem solver. That's what I know. And if you can be a good problem solver for yourself first, you will go far for sure.
Cool advice.
Well, this was a short segment today. Any special shout outs?
Very short. Sorry?
Any special shout outs today?
No, Nat's outside getting something.
Shout out to Nat.
Oh, and by the way, they made a new law here where you have to get a PCR every 3 days if you want to go to public spaces. So we're basically almost stuck at home again.
Oh, interesting. And there's no vaccines where you're at yet?
No, there are. And if you get vaccinated, the 2 doses, you just have to get a PCR every 30 days.
Oh, so you still have to get the PCR even if you are vaccinated?
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow. Well, I hope you can deal with that well. More time in the house means more time making more music, I guess.
Correct.
All right, my friend. More progress is to be made. Tell Nat I said hello, and I hope you call in again soon.
Okay. Thank you for having me. This has been Samuel. Have a good one.
Have a good one. Thanks, my friend. Oh, Beisha is in the chat. Here you go, Beisha. There's the Zoom link so you can call in for the first time. All right. What are you guys popping off about over here? Invest in Allen and Heath? Sure. I don't think I have any Allen and Heath gear. Joseph is trolling. You should all go find Joseph's comment on yesterday's video. It's a pretty good one. How much people in the waiting room? Not enough. More people, more people. But now it's Emmett's turn. Emmett wants to talk. Well, you got it, my friend. Welcome to the show, Emmett.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you so much for calling in.
Sweet. No problem. It's been like a year.
I know, it's been a
Like
while.
Mentor Monday or something, yeah.
It's like Mentor Monday. I think TAETRO Talks like took the place of Mentor Monday.
Yeah.
But
I was confused if this was what I was supposed to be doing, like if I was actually supposed to call in for this.
Yeah, totally. What's crazy is like it's literally been a year. Like I've lived in Los Angeles in this new studio for a year. Like it's been a little more than a year that we started really doing these live streams, and like Mentor Monday was like the first iteration. So it's just crazy how everything's evolved and changed, and things have just gotten better and better, I think.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But thanks for calling in, my friend. What did you want to chat about today?
So stuff's moving along on my end. I've
Nice.
got a lot of new gear. I bought the bundle of the 2i2, the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2.
Awesome.
So the mic, the interface, and the headphones. And I also have now the Aris E3.5s. And most recently, I got because I play piano, right? So I needed something bigger than the Mini Lab Mark II from Arturia.
Yeah.
So I got the Arturia Keylab Essential 61.
Nice. Great
So that's
keyboard.
been helping me out a lot. Yeah, it's really good.
And how have you been like how much music are you working on is my question.
Man, because I'm in Canada, right? So Mr. Doug Ford, our like provincial boss, is very annoying and won't let us out of our houses, so we're stuck here for a while. So
How does
I've
that
been making a lot
affect
of
you?
music.
Oh, so that means you've been making a lot of music.
Exactly,
Got it.
yeah.
No, so you're making the best of it, like we all should be.
Yep.
That's-
And I'm using Logic now, so that's good.
Now, in your music making, being stuck in the house, doing that thing, are you finding your sound, or are you sticking to one genre? Like, what are you focusing on right now in what you're making?
Okay, so I've learned a lot of new instruments recently. So I play the guitar now, and I was hoping to record
Nice.
something, but I sprained my wrist, so I can't play. But I can
Rough.
still record because I still have my right wrist. But
How
I
do you
can't, like,
sprain your
play
wrist if you
guitar.
can't even leave the house?
Well, we can leave the house, but like we can't go to places.
Oh, got it. Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I oofed myself.
You oofed it. Well, that's...
So yeah,
Go ahead.
I was hoping to record something for guitar, and then like layer piano and stuff over that, for like. But then this happened, so then I was like, whatever, I'll just get better at lo-fi, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing.
And you could at least even write some guitar parts like via MIDI. And then once your
Yeah,
wrist
that's
is
true.
good, you can go and play them. So there's always ways to like kind of spend your time, like split your time up. It doesn't have to be all playing, that kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, I had a piano lesson yesterday with my teacher, and since my wrist is sprained, I can't really play piano. So he also uses Logic, and he basically like shows me around. So he screen shared, and like we fixed like a bunch of technical issues that I was having.
Nice.
And I downloaded like all of the stuff from Labs.
Oh, nice. A great
So
library,
now
right?
I've been using that. Yeah, it's really good. The Peel guitar, oof, I love it.
Yes, I'm a big fan of the Moon guitar. But that teacher sounds great. Stick with that teacher.
Yep, I'm gonna stay with him.
Nice. That's
So
amazing.
yeah, so I had a question about transitional stuff.
Let's do it.
Like how do you make stuff like smooth for transitions?
That's a good question. I think this is a thing that I've been working hard on like over the past year. Because like we make loops, right? And it's like 4, 4, 4. And it's just like kind of blocks next to each other. And it just changes every 4 bars, right? But gluing those sections together, especially if you want to make a big change, is tough. Because sometimes it sounds too abrupt. But one of the main things I do is I have this group set up in my Ableton template that's just a bunch of audio tracks. And they're literally just meant for transitional sounds. Risers, downlifters, little incidental noises. And basically every major section, I'm either building up to a major section or I'm doing it like a downlifter. Because if you listen to any like traditional rock or pop song that has a drum set in it, you will probably hear the drummer do stuff like a fill, right before a
Yeah,
new
yeah,
section, or you'll hear like if a big chorus comes in, they're hitting the crash cymbal. In electronic music,
Yeah.
we don't have the drum kit, so we have to recreate that. So the drum fill is either like doing a riser or programming our own drum fill, and the crash cymbal is like the downlifter, the effects that kind of hits on the downbeat. So
Smart. Yeah.
that's like comes much later in my process usually. So usually I build up the the main loop, then the arrangement, I build it across the timeline, and then I do, like I call it basically like the bells and whistles, where I kind of glue everything together with these transitional sounds. And kind of I can see clearly like where all the sections start after I've done the arrangement, and then I put in those transitional sounds. So I do segment my time that way because I don't get caught up in thinking about that too early. If I think about that before I've even fleshed out the timeline, then that's just wasted work if I'm going to go change the timeline later or the structure later or something.
Yeah.
But I am working on... Go ahead.
All right, thanks. I do like the same sort of layout of how I build a track. But then when it comes to, like you said, the bells and whistles, I get bored of that genre and I'm like, nope, I'm gonna go do something else, right? I go eat dinner, come back, I'm opening a new project, I'm doing something else.
Yeah,
So,
that's the discipline you got to build up, because like it's fine like to not finish every piece of music you work on, but if you always do that, then you'll never finish anything. So like if you got a song that you're like, you just got to tell yourself like, okay, I'm definitely going to finish this one, or I'm definitely not going to finish this one. And that's why I've been doing like the thing where at the end of every month, I go through my projects for the month and I say, okay, these are the good projects that I think I'll actually finish. And I put them into a separate folder than the rest of my projects. And then I go back and I finish them and I work on them. Because if I don't do that, I'll do the same thing that you said. I'll just start a new project and make something new. But if I just keep doing that, I'll never be able to release any music. And my goal is to release more music and have people and give people something to listen to. So just like set that for yourself. And even if it's like you're going to finish one track a month or something, like set a goal so that you know, okay, regardless of whether I want to start a new track or not, this track I'm going to stick with and I'm going to finish it, even if I get a little bored. Because you know what's not boring is releasing music and like people really digging it and giving you a lot of like good affirmation, you know?
Yeah, it's nice when people hype you up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for calling in. I hope you do it again soon. I hope we can hear some finished work soon, too.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe Saturday. I don't know.
Yes, totally. All right, well,
All right, thank you.
Good luck with your wrist.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good one. Omkar says, which distributor does TAETRO use? I use DistroKid, and you can save 7% on DistroKid at the link in my description. I want to say hello to the friends Powell, Nefertiti Gold, Renee in the Kai as well, Flocky the Ram, all in the 343 Labs chat. Papesco from Germany as well. Thank you for joining us today, everybody. We're doing our call-in show, TAETRO Talks, every Tuesday here on the channel, on my channel, and on 343 Labs channel as a part of 343 TV. Sometimes we have guests. Sometimes we have callers from the community, which is what we're doing today. Okay. We have lots more, though, to go through, and I want to get to you all. So please, 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 here we go. Is this Sarah? We have Sarah calling in. Hi, Sarah. How's it going?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you?
Perfect. I'm pretty good.
Awesome. Thank you so much for calling in. Is this your first time calling in?
This is. I have been super busy, so I've only gotten to like pop in for like 2 minutes.
No worries.
Live.
That's totally fine. Where are you calling in from?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Amazing. I've been to Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Ooh, chocolate.
Indeed. Well, thank you for calling in. What did you want to talk about today?
I had 2 questions. So one of them being, what's the difference between quirkiness and like comedy?
That's a good question. I think quirkiness speaks more to like a personality. Like comedy is like, I'm going to tell you a joke and the purpose of what I'm doing is to make you laugh. Quirkiness is if your personality like is distinctly, if your personality is just generally kind of funny and interesting, I think there's a difference there. Both valid, and I think if you're a quirky person, that as much of your personality should come through your content as possible. When I was talking about comedy and like content and things like that, I'm talking about like people like making something to try to be funny, to try to get hits. But what you should be doing is leaning into you and your personality and your work and what you make. So if you have a quirky personality, you're not doing it to like appease an algorithm. You're just doing it to show who you are as a person. And I think that's a difference right there.
Okay. And then the second one I have was because I'm looking into purchasing a Launchkey 37, and I've never worked with computer software in my like music kind of like software in my life.
Amazing.
Is it a major learning curve?
Yes. I mean, is it a major learning curve? Sure. But like you play other instruments, right? Do you play piano?
I do, but that's why I looked in the Launchkey, because like I'm good with one hand, but two hands I have trouble.
Do you have any musical background at all?
Yeah, I'm percussionist.
Oh, you're a percussionist. So very, very cool. Well, don't sleep on some of the finger drumming controllers either. Stuff like Launchpad or Machina or something like that, because that'll lean towards your percussion background. But it is good to learn keys anyway. So you say, like, is it a big learning curve? You're a percussionist, right? Like, how long did it take you to get good at percussion? Would you say?
Some years.
Some years, right? So like, is it a big learning curve? Sure, but is it impossible? Is it something you can't do? No, of course not. Like, I'm sure when you started percussion, like you're miles ahead of where you were when you started right now, I'm sure. And I'm sure when you started, you thought like, oh, I could never get to this level or I could never get to that level. And it's probably a level you're already at. So like, you can absolutely do it. And there's lots of resources. That's the thing. Like if you want to pick up a Launchkey and start learning Ableton Live, which I would definitely recommend for a DAW because that's the DAW that I use. You can do it. But just have that mindset of like you're going into it, you're learning something new. It's like your first day of learning paradiddles or something like that, you know? Like it's a little bit of a challenge at first, but you can do it and you can get into it and you'll be able to make progress. But being a percussionist and having good rhythm and having that bit of a musical background will serve you well, because a lot of people go into music production having zero musical background. So you'll be at an advantage. It's not like you're starting from zero. You're starting with all the knowledge you kind of know already.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for calling in. I hope you keep us posted and let us know if you actually pick up that Launchkey 37 and start making some stuff. And the channel's always here. I've got lots of videos, not just with the Launchkey 37, but like with using Ableton Live in general and stuff. So dig through. There's lots of resources out there anyway, so you'll be able to find them. Thank you so much for calling in, Sarah.
Well, thank you.
Have a good one. Good call. Good call. Hi, music producer Ghost. Thank you for joining today. Nefertiti Gold says, percussion, drum programming should be a total breeze. Exactly. We all have to learn something. Like when I came in to music production, I knew a little bit about rhythm, but I mostly knew about like playing like trumpet and some keyboard and some guitar. So, hi, Falguna. Falguna says Ronaldo is taking a penalty right now. Spoilers. Oh, Umkar says my Akai MPK Mini Mark III is coming tomorrow. Fantastic. How do you dial into 343 TV, says Digit? With that link. DJ Tripwire says, can we loop in Launchpad Mini Mark III without Capture MIDI? There's not a record button on Launchpad Mini. All right, with peace and love, if you're not in the waiting room already, we might not have time to get to you. But I'm going to get through everybody in the waiting room. Let's go. Is this a 2-for-1 or is that just the title of this person's name in Zoom? We'll find out. Is it Matt and Christina? Or is it just Christina? Or is it just Matt? Or maybe it's neither if the audio doesn't connect. But hello. Young Snail God says, percussion has helped me a lot, but I need to work on melodies. Yes, nice. Hello, how's it going?
Hey, good.
Thanks for calling in. Where are you calling in from?
Salem, Oregon.
Salem, Oregon. I didn't know there was one of those. That's amazing. This is a cool little music room you've got going here with your guitar and giant TV in the background.
Mm-hmm.
What? Hello, thank you for calling in. What do you want to talk about today? Are you Matt?
No, I'm actually Josiah. This is my parents.
Oh, okay. Hi, Josiah.
Hey, so I got a Launchkey and I'm looking for VST plugins for piano.
Cool.
and I'm wondering which ones you would recommend.
Well, one that is free that you can download right now from Spitfire Labs. They have a bunch of free instruments. I'll say they have free instruments and a good free piano sound. So if you just go to Spitfire Audio's website and look for Labs, it's a whole library of free instruments, one being a piano. So that's a free one. Another one that I use a lot is Arturia has a piano plugin. I think it's just called Piano. Somebody can check me on that. But Arturia has a good piano plugin, and it's got like a bunch of different pianos: American pianos, German pianos, Japanese pianos, grand pianos, upright pianos. So that's a very good plugin as well.
Okay.
Yes. What kind of music do you make?
So I like doing, well, a lot of classical because I play the piano.
Nice.
But yeah, and then I like doing some lo-fi stuff.
Amazing. Yeah. There's some crossover there for sure. Like if you can use some of that piano technical skill that you have and apply it to lo-fi. Maybe you'll even learn jazz piano at some point because sometimes people go from classical to jazz. That plays into that genre as well.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much for calling in, my friend.
All right, bye.
Have a good one. Oh, some other keyboard piano suggestions in the chat as well. Falguna says Addictive Keys by XLN Audio. Nexus 3. Oh, First Contact. Anyone? I don't know. Arturia's pianos are super good, says Manuel. I agree. Piano V2 by Arturia is my go-to choice for sure. Okay, cool. B Jammin' since birth says I use Pure Piano, Ravenscroft, and even Korg Module on iPad. I've used Ravenscroft on iPad, I feel. It's good. Oh, Nefertiti says classical piano works with trap music. Good point there as well. With peace and love. If you're not in the waiting room yet, I'm not taking your call. But if your name is Hugh, I am taking your call. And we'll get to you as soon as the audio connects. Hugh, thank you so much for being here today, everybody. Don't forget that there's a track review stream coming up on Saturday, everybody. It's already scheduled. It's on the channel. You can set a reminder now. Hugh, how's it going?
Yo, what's good, TAETRO?
What's good? Thank you so much for joining today.
What's good? Oh, it's actually Gab in the chat. It's just Hugh because I use this for school.
Got it.
Yo,
All right.
TAETRO, first and foremost, before we get this started, dude, I just copped your merch, bro, and it's amazing.
Lit. Yes, you got the red one?
Yeah, the cardinal red one.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for supporting and picking up the merch.
Yeah, no problem, bro. It's really good. It fits me well, actually. I was actually contemplating on the size I should get, but dude,
that's
the
great.
medium one fits me so good.
Nice. Be sure to tag me in some social stuff so I can share it.
Oh yeah, for real.
Awesome. What do you want to talk about today?
About the comedy and the producer.
Yeah.
I think one of the most how do I say this? One of the most underlooked things are if a producer is using his comedic skills to maybe, let's say, get to where he wants to be.
Sure.
Like uses his comedic skills to branch out his followers and just use it as a leverage to get his music out there. You know, I think that's a great strategy, but
agree.
But there's this sweet spot that you guys have to hit in order to like transition from being a comedian to like putting your music out there.
Totally. Because if people know you for your jokes and then all of a sudden you want to be serious, those people are not necessarily going to tune in.
That's for real. But like one of the greatest examples that I see that the producers who hit that sweet spot is really Andrew Wong, because
totally
he hit that sweet spot just there. He didn't start off with comedy. He didn't start off with just music. He transitioned himself in there, and it's really good.
Absolutely. He like hit that perfect Venn diagram of like entertaining people and also informing people. And then he had built an audience off that. And now he has a massive audience that will listen to his music when he releases music. So that's great. We just all have to like nail that transition just as well. Some people never transition out of that, you know?
Yeah. So like what I was trying to point out was if people are trying to use their comedic skills to branch out their audience and just but the fact that they're gonna know them for the comedic skills is just, what do you call this? It's hard to transition from that. That's what I'm trying to point out.
I agree. It is hard to transition from that. Somebody in chat also just mentioned Joji and Filthy Frank. Filthy Frank being like this huge like meme lord, like over the top, like ridiculous stuff on the internet, and then becomes like this really serious artist known as Joji. Like think about that, like that reinvention, that change. It might also mean that the same people who are fans of your like comedic entertainment stuff are not going to also be fans of your music stuff. But then it might also mean that the fans of your music stuff might not be a fan of your comedic stuff. So you actually have the opportunity to build multiple audiences through this at the same time. Now, if you can get people to cross over and like both, fantastic. But we all know, like I just released a second project called FaceX, which is like totally different than TAETRO.
No,
I
that's
don't.
what that's what I've been wanting to ask you for a while now. Like I've always had it stuck in my head. Is that like some kind of your alter ego that you put like an artist to, or is that where
Kind
you
of.
express yourself in?
Yeah, it's just like another outlet for me to release a different kind of music because it doesn't make sense to release as TAETRO. It's a different genre. It's a different approach. It has vocals on it, which TAETRO music doesn't. So like I needed another outlet for that. But I don't, the point of that, saying that is I don't expect everybody who likes TAETRO, like lo-fi chill beats, to go listen to this like slightly more aggressive electronic pop music. You know, it doesn't make sense. Why would I expect that? So we want to set ourselves up for success and have the right expectations and be like, okay, this is kind of like starting new. But just full circle, bring it back to the comedy thing. If you do a lot of comedy content and you don't just want to be known for comedy, it's gonna be it's a tough pill for some people to swallow when they post like a normal music making video after their TikTok.
The same.
Exactly. After their funny TikTok went viral and got a million views, when they post like a normal beat making video and they want people to appreciate their work and it only gets 1,000 views, like people take hits like to their mental health because of that. And we just have to. But if you set the expectations and you know, like
personally, because you
right,
knew what you were getting into, right?
For sure. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
But some
I
people
just-
don't. So we need the expectations set.
Yeah. Yo, Teacher, I've always been wanting to ask, like, since I've kind of got your mixture of like your own sound, it's more of like the lo-fi with the hip hop and the electronic put together, right?
Yeah.
And I've always loved that sound, and I took inspiration
Thank you.
from that. And recently, I found my own sound, and it's just it's two subgenres put together, you know.
That's how it goes. That's how you develop your own sound.
I've put together I've put together synthwave and lo-fi together. And
Awesome.
I call it synthfi and
Synthfi. We love that.
Yeah, I just found out my new sound, and it's actually been working well. And this Saturday, if I can submit one of my beats, I would love for you to hear it.
Heck yeah. I would love to have you turn up on Saturday and show off a beat for sure. I think we'll have some opportunity to do non-members. That's why we added the second one, because that's the whole point of the second stream.
Can you enlighten me in some way of like branching out ideas in terms of like just putting together subgenres and genres together?
I think you already kind of said it perfectly. You're taking a few things that people are familiar with and combining them in a new way. Because when you want to do something new, well, when you want to be an artist in general, you see a lot of artists that do something that is familiar, and that's how they initially get attention. Because if you're a new person and you're doing something completely different that nobody's ever heard of, that's very hard to get people involved in because it's all unfamiliar. But if you're a new person and you do something that people are familiar with, then they can at least get hooked by the thing they're familiar with and then learn more about you, the new person. So I think of myself, the music that I make, in a similar way. Like I've been really focusing on lo-fi chill beats, and that gives people who don't know me a thing to latch onto and to get to know me. And it also it allows people to put it in a specific box, and that's important for some people. Now, my own brand of doing that might sound different than some others. That's because I take my influences from all different places, and that's all we have to do is like you listen to a bunch of music, take the best parts of all the music that you love and put it together and make something new out of it.
Yeah, definitely. Yo, TAETRO, you just gave me a whole new perspective to ponder on, dude. Like, Whoa.
You got it, my friend. Like you just got to keep doing it, and you're gonna keep evolving over time. You're doing the synth-fi thing right now, and then tomorrow you might wake up and want to do something different, or you might, do 3 parts lo-fi, 1 part synthwave, or 3 parts synthwave, 1 part lo-fi. Like you can just like mix and match in so many ways, but you're creating your own universe, right? Like you're creating your own sonic universe that you want people to recognize as you. Exactly.
There's no possible. It's endless possibilities.
It's endless possibilities, but your unique combination of all those possibilities is what's going to make you as an artist. What's going to make people recognize you.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for calling in, my friend. I appreciate
I
it.
appreciate this talk so much, yo. By the way, I might cop another of your merch, dude.
Sheesh.
I am actually so hyped for this.
That's dope.
My mom actually approved of this because she doesn't regularly just help me cop one of these merches from strangers, dude.
Well, tell your mom I said thank you and that she's awesome and that thank you for supporting you should actually thank her. You need to thank her for supporting you and your musical endeavors.
Yeah, for real.
Not all parents are supportive of like kids doing musical stuff, and when we have that, you got to thank those people that support you.
Yeah. Just a quick reminder for all the people who are watching right now. If your parents are supporting you with your craft, you're very blessed because not a lot of creators and artists are getting the same level of support from their parents or from anyone really.
You're totally right. Thank you so much for calling in. I hope you call in again soon.
Thank you so much, TAETRO. God bless. What's up?
Peace out. Good call. All right, we've got even more in the waiting room. If you have been waiting, don't worry. Everybody else has been waiting too. So I appreciate everybody's patience. Let's get Flocky the Ram. Is it you? The Cooking Hub says, sheesh. Falguna, yeah, you can ask your question in the text chat and I'll try to answer it as we, if we're in between calls and things like that. Thank you all so much for tuning in to today's show. Flocky the Ram.
I am Flocky the Ram. Do I have to mute my YouTube?
Yeah, I don't really hear it right now, but it'll be easy for you to mute it so I won't be on a delay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Right on. How are you today?
I'm great. Now, where does one get the name Flocky the Ram?
I'm actually a puppet musician. I practice music as a puppet.
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad you called in. Can I find you on YouTube or something?
My only YouTube videos are some ones my friends put up. I'm still shooting my YouTube videos right now. I only have a SoundCloud.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited for it.
Oh, I love puppets, and I damaged my brain years ago, and I can only communicate with people through puppets.
That's such an interesting situation that you're in. How do you like being a puppet?
It's all right. People are very respectful to me. I actually get more respect as a puppet than I ever did as a human being.
Interesting. We love to hear it. What did you want to talk about today, Mr. Flocky the Ram?
I just wondered if having brain damage would make you create a whole new style of music that when you show it to people, they ask you, what is wrong with you?
It is quite possible. I think as artists, we're always susceptible to doing something a little crazy and a little out there that people might say, what is wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like people are always going to question creative people, regardless if they have brain damage or not. I think artist brains just kind of work differently than the average brain, the normal brain. So people are always going to ask what's wrong with you, you know, like no matter what, people ask what's wrong with you, even if you just live in a normal life, because everybody lives life differently. So I think as a artist, we just have to push through that.
That's super positive. You know, I needed to hear that, I think.
For sure. Go ahead. Did you have something else?
No, I wondered if at some point you personally, if you had some time, you don't have to showcase or anything, just would take a look at my music on my SoundCloud and just like, I don't know, let me know if I'm going any kind of right direction, but I don't expect you to promote me or anything. I just want you personally, because I do respect you as an artist.
I really appreciate that. Is your name Flocky the Ram on SoundCloud?
No, my SoundCloud is The Black Flock.
The Black Flock. Well, I'm going to check it out right after this stream. All right.
Thank you so much. And thank you for making me feel better about my condition. I feel great now. I'm going to go make another puppet.
Go make another puppet. You got this, my friend.
All right. Well, I'll tune in again and I'll be back on the chat whenever you have me. I heard you do music on Saturday or something.
Yes, music reviews. So we have members cut the line, but if you want to join, if there's time, we allow non-member submissions as well. So if you want to join in on Saturday, come to the stream.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much. And you have a great day.
You too. Flocky the Ram, everybody. Let's keep on going. Digit Hixie. MP, if you want, I'll get you next after this one. If this one doesn't go through, it's having trouble joining, I think. Falguna says, my friend is trying to buy a keyboard. He was asking for recommendations. I told him that he should look into MIDI controllers because they have more control and everything. He wants to learn keyboard, and I was just wondering if I gave him the right advice. Well, the problem with the MIDI keyboard is he'll have to get software. If he just wants to learn piano, he might just want a digital piano, you know? Interesting. This person is not... Oh, maybe I need to hit this button. Maybe Zoom is crashing. Oh, here we go. Leo Legit says, can we get a new link? The calls are closed for today because we've gone over an hour. So, like I said, we do these call-in shows fairly often on Tuesdays. So if you are interested in calling into a future show, you'll be able to. But right now, the waiting room's kind of locked. How it is. Digit Ixie. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're able to connect. I'll give it one more minute. If he just wants the basic sounds and just wants to learn how to play, he can use a light version of Ableton, right? True, Falguna, but it's not, then you have to connect to a computer. It's not like a piano that you just walk up to and play. Like if they just want to learn basic piano and they don't actually want to make songs, like they don't actually want to produce music, then, you know, it's just easier for them to get a standalone kind of keyboard. All right, MP, I'm going to get you in right now if you're here. But I got to get that person out of the waiting room because it's not connecting. But MP, Mike, let's see if we can get you in. Hopefully you didn't have to go. Is Zoom crashing? What's the problem here? Seems like not letting me let anybody in. Ah, there we go. That worked. I used a Shure SM7B to record my vocals live streaming. Nice. I consider buying another mic for vocals, or is this one good? I think this one's good. What's wrong with it? Are you having issues with it? You just want to buy something. Cody says, hi, TAETRO, I love your videos, and one day I want to become just like you. Thank you, Cody. I appreciate that. MP Mike, you're in the chat, but I gotta... Oh, there we go. Are you here?
Hello.
Hello, Mike.
Hi. I'm actually supposed to be in school right now.
Love that.
But, I have a quick break. So
Okay.
I have like 5 more minutes left.
Let's do it quick.
I've been thinking about getting a MIDI keyboard, and I'm not sure which one yet, but I'm thinking of the Launchpad. Like, I'm not sure which one yet. I've been going through some phases with the MIDI keyboards. Like, first I wanted the Roly, and then I wanted the MPK, and now I'm thinking about getting a Launchpad. So do you have any input on which one I should get?
I have amazing input for you. We actually have a wheel here just for this question where I'm going to spin this, and you are legally obligated to get the MIDI keyboard that it lands on. Oh,
Amazing.
gosh. The arrow's falling off. So are you ready to spin the wheel today?
Sure.
All right. Now, you have a lot of good selection here. Launch Key, MPK, Mini Lab, M32, and Cat Piano. We can only hope that you get the Cat Piano. Since you are considering the Launchpad, if it lands on Cat Piano, we'll substitute the Launchpad for that. How about that?
Sure.
All right. Here we go. Let's spin the wheel. Oh, God. It's going. It's going. It's going. Oh, it landed on the Native Instruments M32. You are now legally obligated to pick up the Native Instruments Complete M32.
All right.
But in all seriousness, the reason we spin the wheel is because don't spend any more time thinking. Just get something and just start making music, you know?
Okay. I wanted to get a live looping one really bad so I could just make music on the spot. And also I was thinking about a couple months ago about getting the APK Mini Play because it has speakers that come like straight out of the keyboard. It
Yes,
has
but you
built-in-
cannot loop on that. It only has sounds built
Yeah, I
in. The
know.
main thing is if you're
So-
doing live looping, you're using the software to do it. Unless you're using a looping pedal, which I assume you're not. So you're going to be using Ableton Live to do some live looping. And that's basically all done in the software. So honestly, you probably want Launch Key Mini or a Launchpad, in all honesty. But just get one and don't
All
look
right.
back and go back to school.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks for calling in, Mike.
Bye.
Bye. There we go. Quick and easy. Let's keep it going. Herschel, got you coming in. You heard me right, folks. Legally obligated. Said he closed the link. Even I tried, but nope, didn't work. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what that. Oh, our legal team is on standby. Watch out. Stay in school, kids. Josiah, yes, indeed, legally obligated. Make sure you have your mic set up, people that call into the Zoom. On the bottom left, you select a microphone, select an audio input device. If you don't have a microphone selected, then I can't hear you. Like Herschel, you're in the room right now, but I cannot hear you. We haven't spun the wheel in a while, though. That was fun. What do y'all think of that? I think that's the first time it's landed on M32 as well. If there's anyone in chat with some experience or advice, I was wondering if it's better to work on my music independently or to further my skills at uni in advance. Well, there's other options besides just university. Oh, Herschel, you're here.
Hi.
I'll get back to that chat question in a moment, but Herschel, thank you for joining the show today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm Eternal Wolf Music on the chat.
Oh, Eternal Wolf, welcome to the show. Are you outside amongst the wolves?
I'm actually driving a truck right now. I'm about to get off work.
Oh, be careful.
I am. I got a headset on.
Perfect.
So I got two questions. One relating to the topic, and if you got time, one not so much.
Let's do it.
So I've been told that I was funny before, you know, from various people. But when I shoot videos or like I just started a Twitch channel, and it always kind of just comes off as awkward. Do you have any advice on how to leverage that awkward into? I know I'll never not be awkward. That's just part of my personality. But how do I make that awkwardness also funny?
You have to lean into it. Like you have to make it so obvious that you know that it's awkward. Because sometimes people are awkward and they do not intend to be awkward, or they don't know, they're not self-aware that they're being awkward. But plenty of comedians and people that are super entertaining have built careers off of being that awkward, funny person. So you just have to like find ways to make it obvious that you know it's awkward, you know, and that's part of the shtick, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And if that is part of your personality, just go for it. And also, who's telling you you're awkward?
I just watch the videos back and like, I don't know, like I still am struggling with the whole talking to the camera and not looking at myself on the screen, which comes off super awkward.
Sure. Well, then that's
like
different.
I know I'm an awkward person, you know, so.
Totally. I hear that. Well, that's different. Like you should definitely hone the skills of like being camera ready and all that. But if like part of your personality is being funny and a little bit awkward, great. But the technically awkward things you got to work your way out of. Like you don't need to be looking at the screen while you're talking. Like, you know that you can work your way out of that. Yeah. Once you forget about those things and once you get good at that whole like being in front of the camera thing, then your actual personality comes through. Like if you go back and look at my oldest videos, my personality for sure didn't come through because I had so many things about shooting the video and etc. on my mind. Now it's kind of on autopilot with the shooting the content. So I kind of just press record and forget that I'm on camera, and just do my thing, you know, but that just takes time. The more you do it, the better you get at it.
Okay, perfect. And my other question that I had, you mentioned earlier that your new project you've got vocals in it.
Yeah.
I was hired recently to do mixing and mastering for an artist who produced her own beat. And I'm really struggling carving out a spot for her lead vocals. Like it's just, her beat is so busy that it's kind of just overriding the vocals. Do you have any advice on how to get a vocal to sit right in the mix?
Yeah, well, that's two different questions. That's like, does the vocal even fit in the musical composition? Because if there is truly too much going on, then it's going to get in the way of the music. And that might be something that's a conversation with the client to be like, this is getting a little messy.
And I did reach out to her about that, but she really didn't want the beat change at all. So
Sure.
I'm just trying to figure out if there's like something I can EQ or compression ducking or something.
Yeah.
That might help without making the rest of it sound.
Yeah, I mean, mostly, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you take the answer off the air though. So turn the stream back up because there's like some noise and interference coming through. But thank you for the call, Herschel. I will answer that question. What I will say is, with mixing and vocals and stuff, the way I am approaching it is like the vocals are dead center. The vocals are the thing that has the spotlight for most of the song, unless there's a synth solo or something. So everything else, other than like bass, right? Everything else is somewhere else in the stereo field, and the vocals are center stage. So no matter what, at the very least, vocals are dead center. Sometimes you can make the vocals mono too, and that helps as well. But then also layering vocals, I'll have doubles, I'll have harmonies, everything calls attention to the vocals. And then vocals are also the thing that's on top of the mix. They're usually the most loud, quote unquote. They're not loud, but they're on top. And it also comes down to composition. If you have too many things competing, like if there's too many counter melodies or just too much going on, then unfortunately, it's just going to get away and cloud up your mix. And if people are supposed to be listening to the vocals, allow them to do that. If there's 5 other things happening that are calling attention to different parts of the song that are not the vocals, it's just not going to sound good regardless. So when you work in a client situation like that and they don't want to like change it, it's tough. You literally just have to do the best that you can, make it sound as good as you can, get those vocals dead center, up in the mix, bring other things down, gain staging, add layers to the vocals, whether it's a double or whatnot, harmonies. That's what I think. Now, some of you called in after I said the room was closed. So how dare you do that? John Hankins, welcome to the show. Here we go. We're going rapid fire. Oh, I can see John is chilling. John got some gear in the background, a little turntable situation. Hi, John.
Hello.
Hello, how are you? Thank you for calling into the show.
Thanks for having me.
Where are you calling in from?
Vegas.
From Vegas. Amazing. I've driven through Vegas. I've never actually been to Vegas, but I think I should visit sometime.
It's crazy. We're getting back to normal out here.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for calling in. What did you want to talk about today?
Hey, I just wanted to, just say thank you for what you do. I've commented a couple of times on your videos. A little background, I consider myself an amateur, a little bedroom DJ, got a small YouTube channel, and I was inspired by another content creator to, instead of paying, I won't mention the name of the service, instead of paying someone else for music, just make my own.
Sure.
I actually bought a digital keyboard years ago. My wife passed away in 2018. And,
sorry to hear that.
Thanks. And one of the things, you know, what I do as a kid, and I practiced guitar, played piano, but wasn't good at it and never really did it. You know, life happens. And anyway, I bought this Yamaha keyboard and 2 guitars, and they just kind of sat around. And now I've got a Novation coming
Nice.
in the mail this week as my desktop. And then I've got a launch key coming as a portable one. And that was actually your video that got me to get that. You
Amazing.
were doing a review of the MPK and the launch key, and when you did that session, when you went to the cabin and you pulled that out, I was like, yeah, this is it. And I really like how you say just earlier today, stop thinking about stuff and just pull the trigger.
Yeah,
And
just
if
that's what it
doesn't
is.
work out, you send it back. So
For
anyway,
sure.
then I got a M Audio Oxygen coming as my desktop. And again, it's just for amateur. I'm not looking to do this to get paid. I'm not looking to be a professional. I'll be 50 here in a couple months. And, it's cool to hear people who are much younger than myself. And so whatever age you are, wherever you're at, professional, amateur, just get started. So I just wanted to personally, outside of commenting on your social media, just say thank you for what you're doing. I appreciate your rants. I appreciate the common sense that you try and bring. And I know you probably get a lot of trolls, and it is what it is. But keep doing what you're doing, and thank you for the inspiration. So I won't take up too much of your time.
No worries. I thank you for those kind words. That means a lot. I really appreciate it.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah, it comes down to like, it doesn't matter how old you are, just get started, just start making stuff. Too many people agonize over decision making and you don't know what decisions to make, especially when you're just starting. So I just encourage people, just get started and just start loving what you're doing. And then the best part is you buy a piece of gear and then a problem comes up you have to solve. Like, oh, I have this great keyboard, but I really wish I had a knob controller so I could turn these effects. Then you actually have like a need to go out and buy something else. Then you've thought about it and you've actually... you're building something, but you got to get to that first point. Like, just buy the first thing and realize what you need. Like you say, I need a portable controller and I need my desktop controller. Like, that's a need, you're filling a need there. So it makes total sense what you're doing.
Awesome. All right. Well, be safe. And, if you ever swing through Vegas, enjoy. Our economy would appreciate it. And all the best to you, sir.
All right. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Good call. Good call. Ed Yama. Here we go. Here we go. Ed Yama. Here we go. Here we go. Says, sup, y'all. What's up, Ed?
Hey, hello. Oh, wow, I got through. I thought you said you weren't taking calls. I'm like,
Ed, here's the thing. You are one of the biggest members of the community, so I had to get you in today.
Hey. Oh, so cool. Oh, I'm super glad you took the call. Wow, cool.
Yeah, thanks for joining. Ed, tell us all where you're calling in from.
I am at like this thing called the South Coast Botanical Garden right now.
Nice.
With my wife and my kiddos and
amazing. The whole family.
Going out for a walk. Yeah, with the fam.
Awesome.
So I thought I'd zoom in and see if I could chat a little bit because I did have a question. I have a question.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So I was curious what your opinion was on like content libraries, like stock photos, but for like music.
Yeah.
Like Epidemic Sound kind of thing.
Yeah. In what way? Through what lens?
All right. So the lens is I replied to this random Craigslist ad because I'm kind of in a job transition at the moment.
Sure.
And they were like, oh, we're looking for upbeat, active music kind of thing. And I was like, all right, I'll send you some of my music and see what you think. They're like, oh, we like it. We got on a Zoom call and they're like, it's really cool. They explained to me they're like Epidemic Sound, which I actually didn't know about. So I looked them up a bit and I was like, well, I kind of want to learn about this.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that's cool. Okay, this is interesting. And I'm just I get good vibes from them. I don't feel like they're trying to scam. They are a startup. It's this thing called Heat Music, except the E's a 3.
Sure.
The design is all right. It's not like super.
But it's a couple red flags though, right? It's like, it's a couple like, is this legit? Is it not? It's like on the edge.
Yeah. I'm trying to feel it out. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, worst case scenario. I mean, like, it's like beat battle beats that didn't win that they're mostly interested in buying or licensing.
Sure.
Yeah,
well,
so I'm just kind of curious, how you'd feel about it and how you'd feel out a situation like that.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because these kind of situations pop up all the time, especially for people that are just starting. And I do caution people, but like to be careful. But we've heard your music, and especially on the last beat review, like your music is epic. Like I love that you're doing all the beat battle stuff because it's like such intense music. Like obviously people want a piece of that, But
thanks. Yeah.
What do you benefit from it? I don't know anything about the details of the contract, but like, is the benefit there for you? Like, are you actually going to gain something? And is it in the fine print that you're, what are they actually going to do for you? If they are just like a startup or just like they don't have a lot of visibility, how much are they actually going to get for you? And how are you even going to know what they're doing with your music if they do something with it? Versus an established library like an Epidemic Sound, that's why I'm cautious, always cautious about these smaller companies that are doing their thing, because they could disappear tomorrow. And what if you gave them a bunch of music and you never heard from them again? And like you would just never know. And they could be licensing out your music, and one day you hear your music in an ad and you can never even find anybody to reach out to or whatever. But meanwhile, these more established libraries, they actually have some way of being held accountable because they're big established brands that are out in public. So like, I'm not saying that that's the case by any means. They could be a well-meaning startup. Yeah. You just have to like kind of suss it out and be like, is there that big of a benefit for you? Now, are there ways to negotiate? Like maybe you want a little more security because to you, it's a risk, right? To submit to this library that you don't know anything about, that doesn't have great visibility, that is just getting started. So you're taking on a risk. So why not instead counteroffer, like I'll give you tracks X, Y, and Z for this percentage when it gets licensed, whatever the deal is, but I want an upfront payment of X. You know, and then they're buying into it, right? And they could, of course, say no, like, but if they're worth anything, they'd be willing to negotiate on something. But if they really are out there just to make something for themselves, they're probably going to be less likely to do that. But you always have room for negotiation. Like if you want a little bit of a safety net, because if they disappear tomorrow, but you got a one-time payment of whatever amount you deem appropriate, then at least you got something out of it, you know? And just also just take an extra care and look at like what happens to the ownership of the music too, like because you could be just giving that music to them and they can profit on it for the rest of their lives. Now, what is the best case scenario? The best case scenario is like your music gets licensed in some epic thing, like a Nike commercial or something, right? Which would be amazing, but it's not going to be amazing if you get $0 from it. You know what I mean? And if nobody even knows that you made the music and it's just like,
that's true.
So you just always want to be protecting yourself. Music libraries in general, though, the ones that are established, like Epidemic Sound, like Sarah the Instrumentalist is part of that. And it's a great income driver. It's a great income stream for people. So don't sleep on it. But now that you've gotten involved with kind of one and you started talking with one and you're getting a feel for what this is like, maybe that means that you can start pitching to some other ones and get competing offers, you know?
True. That's a smart way to do it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know about Epidemic and then I saw Sarah the Instrumentalist. I'm like, oh, wow. But then again, I'm like, she's definitely like, wow, like way up there. But I'm like, I feel like I can make something like that. And I'm like, I wonder, you know, like.
Right. And there's definitely other ones out there too. So you can get into that world, but just do some more research because there's other stuff out there other than the one that, you know, you found on Craigslist or whatever.
Right. For sure. They should be they asked for some tracks like what did they ask for? They asked for like my mixes and they said they do master licensing distribution. They talk like they know it's up and then they said they're gonna send me a contract after I sent the first track in. So I'm like kind of hesitant. I sent like South LA Knock over them because they said that one's good as is, don't need to like do any mixing. They gave me like something about Wait Up and this other thing. They're like, oh yeah, could you turn up the bass on this, turn down the hats on that? I'm like, okay, but I just kind of want to see a first contract and see what they actually send first and whether that's as organized as, I mean, the Zoom call was pretty decent actually.
Yeah, that's good. But just remember, like anybody who's telling you something that you kind of want to hear, we're going to take your music and we're going to get it in commercials, we're going to get it in music, in movies or whatever. That's going to feel really good for you to hear. And anybody can say those things, you know what I mean? So I'm not saying that they're trying to deceive you. Just always be like protective of yourself. Like, you know how it is like out there with businesses and people with nefarious intentions. Just always be protective of yourself. Anytime somebody's telling me something I want to hear, something that sounds good, so good to be true, like maybe a little too good to be true, I'm always looking at it with a side eye a little bit. But that doesn't mean it's not legit. Just always like read that contract. Everything is negotiable, and just make sure you're protecting yourself, you know, in your work. Oh, I think I lost Ed. He's frozen. Ed, thank you for that call. I hope you heard my answer on the air. Let's work our way through. We have 2 more calls. Way of Life. Fellowship. Hey guys, I don't want to promote myself, but if I want to promote myself, come on, Cody, do better than that. Ed, thank you for that call, by the way. I hope you heard the little tail end of the answer there. Folks, track review stream is on Saturday. I'm going to be making some music on Thursday stream as well.
Hi.
Hi, what's up, my friend? Oh,
Definitely. I have a few questions.
okay. Get somewhere settled because the internet's a little weird.
Oh, okay. I need the.
Right there is
See
perfect.
if I can find any good Wi-Fi. Okay.
Are you in school?
I have a few questions for you. I'm actually homeschooled.
Oh, cool. Oh,
I have a few questions.
sure.
I can't really get my timing down. Do you have any advice on that?
Yes, you need to practice your rhythm. You need to play to a metronome. Start at slower tempos and then build yourself up to faster tempos. Play very basic beats and very basic rhythms. I have a finger drumming.
I'm kind of working on.
Say that again, my friend. You broke up a little bit.
I'm doing some.
We got a bad connection. I got to let you go. I'm sorry, my friend. But if you're building up your rhythm skills, I hope you call in again when you have better connection. Metronome is great. Sam H points out Melodics app is great. Yes, and there's like free stuff in the Melodics app. That is another way to kind of improve your rhythm and finger drumming specifically. But there's also like piano stuff on that as well, I believe. All right, final call of the day. This is it, my friends. Here we go. Tay's contributing to delinquency. Yes. Homeschooled, though, Michael G. Homeschooled. So technically, you're always at school. JPR. Let's see if we can get you in on the final call today. Thank you, everybody who called in today. I know we had a couple connection issues, but that's fine. Is that JPR connecting to audio? Just select that audio input device. We're good. Hello.
Yeah. Hey.
Hi. Make sure you just mute the stream because I can hear myself.
Yep. Sorry about that.
Make sure you just... Oop. Unmute. I accidentally muted you. Yes. Just click unmute, JPR. At the bottom left.
Got it.
Perfect. Thank you for calling in.
Awesome.
How are you? Where are you calling in from?
Harrison, BC, Vancouver.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you so much for calling. I really appreciate it. What did you want to talk about today?
I'm glad I got on. I'm all hyped up now.
Nice.
Anything and everything. This is John Richardson. You've probably seen me in the 343.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So I have a desk here, all full of equipment: DSI, Tempest, Korg, R3, and some other stuff.
Awesome.
And I really enjoy your show. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Looking forward to going to producing like some psytrance, techno, house, all of the above, and getting the last final pieces of equipment that can have everything communicate without a DAW, because that's what I'm looking into.
Nice.
I know you're mostly a lot of MIDI, but I'm really looking forward to this year.
Yeah, the hardware world is, I don't know a lot about hardware and synths, but I do admire a lot of people who do. That's why I really like groove boxes and stuff, because they're like self-contained, and like I'm a kind of, even though I have a lot of gear around me, my setups that I make music with are minimal. So I generally like working with like a smaller amount of gear. But that's cool. You got a lot of cool stuff.
But the DSI Tempest is going to be the hardest, so
sure.
I think I'm going to have to get the MC707.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a nice little groove box. Awesome.
Yeah. What do you think is a really good effects pedal right now?
It's a good question. I don't actually use a lot of effects pedals. I mostly use in the box effects. However, I see a lot of people use it. If I was gonna buy like a pedal or something, actually, let me if I have the thing that I'm thinking about pulling out. I have like a little Korg Chaos. It's not a pedal, but it's the Korg Chaos Pad 2S or something. It's like this little mobile Chaos Pad thing that's got lots of effects in it. And I think I'm actually going to pull this out and start using this a little bit more. I was thinking about last night pairing it with the Circuit or even pairing it with the Orba. And this is something I'm thinking about. I've had it for years. I just don't normally use it.
That's a great piece of kit.
Yes, and I just need to use it more. So I think I'm going to do that. But I don't really use a lot of pedals. When I was playing guitar, I had like a cool little delay pedal. I like reverb pedals that have freeze on them. Those are cool pedals. Looping pedals are great, obviously. But yeah, what's one of your favorite?
You're into hip hop, electro, and some other beats. What other genres are you thinking about?
That's a good question, because I've been thinking a lot about house, like blending my lo-fi like kind of background with my lo-fi and my like kind of pop music background, trying to get it together in like a lo-fi house situation. So I've been thinking about making some more upbeat, like dancier type stuff lately. So I'm thinking a lot about that. But when I'm not making music, I'm listening to straight up pop music. I listen to K-pop. I listen to like pop rock stuff. So I basically listen to music that I don't really make that much, if that makes sense.
Do you spend a lot of time making custom presets on a lot of the software you're using?
No, I spend basically zero time on that because I have so many. I am fortunate enough to have so many plugins and so many sounds that there is not a sound that I could make that there is not already a preset for, I think. And I use presets as a starting off point too. So I'll go into a preset and then maybe change it slightly.
Yeah, awesome. I thought I have other problems that I'm trying to solve. Like the OB6 has one LFO, but it's just the greatest synth.
Cool.
And I have that as well. But I figured like the Chaos, the York Tech LFE expander can really help a grounded synth become big.
For sure.
And I have the Syntrex from Erica Synths, and that's
you got all the gear.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I spent too much, and it's a real struggle with my wife because I have to get her on board somehow.
Yeah,
but I think like midlife synthesis, I'm going to have to make my own channel.
You should absolutely. You have enough gear like that. See, that'll get the wife off your back, right? Because if you start making a channel and you can start generating even a little bit of revenue, just like talking about these synths and just showing them off, if you can do it well and you can start generating a little bit of revenue, then that's going to pay for your habit. I think you should do that.
Some peace, love, and happiness.
Exactly. Well, John, I got to go, but thank you so much for calling into the show. I hope if you do start that channel, please let us know.
I will.
All right. Peace out, my friend. Thank you so much for calling.
Yep.
Have a good one.
Someday soon.
Awesome. Peace. Amazing. Good call-in show today, everybody. Thank you. Sorry if I didn't get to your call, but we went for about 90 minutes today, which is pretty good. Like I said, we're live every Tuesday on my channel and the 343 Labs channel, so hopefully you do enjoy that. And tomorrow on 343 TV, you'll have Justin Beck talking about mixing and mastering, which is very, very helpful. Cody, and you could have just asked your question instead of spamming, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? So type it in chat real quick, and if we can get to it, we'll get to it. Hello, Common Beats. I'm sorry I didn't see you there. Cabin Life is good. Thank you so much for the compliments on it. It's other Journey is here. James Murley. James Murley, I didn't know you were a hype beast, my friend. I didn't know you were so fashionable. Cody, that's not a question. You know that that's not a question. And it got banned in chat. And I didn't ban it in chat. Joseph didn't ban it in chat. It just automatically got banned in chat. Crystal, thank you so much for joining. Crystal says, happy wife, happy life. Good advice. Good advice. Sarah says, TAETRO's Tuesdays. Yep. All right, my friends, we're coming to an end here. So if you came in to tune in for the advice and all that stuff, we're kind of done, but I'll just let you know what's coming up for the rest of the week. We'll get kind of this background music going a little bit and we'll chill. So here's the deal. Every Wednesday, y'all know I put out a beat video. So tomorrow's beat video is cool because it's from the top of a mountain. So be sure to have notifications turned on so you don't miss it. And then I'm working on my lo-fi uncut process series, which will be for the next 3 weeks. I'll have a video coming out every week for the next 3 weeks. Parts 1, 2, and 3. Very deep dive, explained, uncut process. We've got, for 343 Labs, the next sample challenge is coming, and we've got a cool Arturia prize. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to be doing probably in a couple weeks, I'll do a stream where I'm working with the sample, or maybe I'll do that on Thursday because I'll be streaming on Thursday again. And then Saturday, we're doing track reviews here on my channel. So if you want to submit music, of course, becoming a member is the best way to assure that your music gets reviewed. If you're a member and you didn't submit to last time, you can submit this time. And I'm looking forward to hearing all your music again on Saturday. I'm still working on the sample pack. It's taking me a little bit longer than I expected, but new sample pack is on its way, I promise. It's almost there. It's almost there. But yeah, that's going to be it for today, my friends. If you didn't listen to my new Face X track, please do that. Nightbot's been posting the link. I actually made a music video, which I'll link for you all right now. If you haven't checked out, like, I worked hard on it. Put a lot of effort, I think. The song is called Ghost Me, and I self-produced the song and music video. And it's just something new for me. So if you do have the time just to check it out and leave a comment and subscribe to that new channel, I would really, really appreciate it. There's a link for that. It's a little bit different than the normal lo-fi stuff, but I think you'll enjoy it if you like electronic pop music, hyper pop, that kind of thing. Thank you, everybody who's been supportive around that. More songs to come very soon. Keep hyping it up. All right, that's it, my friends. I hope you took something from today's show. Hope you learned a little bit. And I hope to see you next time. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been TAETRO for 343 Labs. Have a good one.